Hello. So, how the narcissist keeps getting away with what they do to people again and 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 again is a topic that probably fascinates you as much as it does me. How? How do they get away with it? How do people not catch on? How are people not catching on? And stopping them, or making it hard for them, or it just they create, they foster an environment around them that wherein this disorder can be viable and move around. Do you know what I'm saying? They create space for themselves to exist in the way that they want. So they're going to pick a person that they can bestow the ill behavior upon. They're going to pick places where the two of you spend a lot of time alone, so they're free to do that. They're going to make their environment be able to foster the effects of what they would like to do in life. They don't know it's a disorder, but they know that they want privacy to be able to go off and do what they want. And do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to foster and create whatever circumstances in their life they need to do in order to keep getting away with this behavior. Part of what they do is they alter their outward actions slightly for every new person, don't they? Because they have to cater to their qualities. They have to cater their qualities and their things that they're doing to the victim. They're going to mirror the victim and give the victim what they want. The next person is going to like different things. The person before is going to like different things. And their pattern becomes hard to recognize as a pattern because nothing looks the same. Because their path is messy, yes? With tales of woe to this one, to this one, to others who will listen. Never quite the same tale, because again, it's customized to each experience based on the person that he was involved with. They can and do explain each relationship away. Each dysfunctional thing that happened, they can explain it away. They can. And every single instance, fight, relationship, anything negative, they will have their spin on the story. They'll make them all sound as if to be in their favor. They'll smear with each new person, they will smear the old person. They will garner support from people each time. Different people, new people, who lend them an ear, who believe them and assume that they're right. They might not even know you. He might have moved on past you. Now he's on new people and he's talking about you. Of course they're going to believe him. And they make everyone think that they've been wronged. It's hard to establish a pattern when they are doing all of these different things in life. They're always going to present themselves as the injured party. So that's the consistency people around them are going to see and hear. That's their presentation. I was wronged. I left her because she wronged me. I did that because she did that. Do you know what I mean? It's never going to be you were the injured party. I doubt they'll ever say right out loud that you left them. They'll make it be some kind of way that they left you. The narcissist is playing the entire field. The entire field. And you're just one tiny part. If it doesn't work out with you, next game, next player. Who can I get on my side? In my case, I think I've mentioned this before, he charmed my parents. I had to inform them that he wasn't who he said he was. Guess what? They'd still have a ball with him if he showed up now. Why? Because they weren't the actual victim. They're not us. Remember, it's tough, nearly impossible even, to explain what happened to you, to other people. How insidiously they operate and manipulated you. And no one knows, that's the other thing, no one knows but you the whole truth. I've never told anybody everything that happened with mine. Are you kidding me? I don't need to do that. I'm not against it, but why? I don't need to belabor anybody's ears with tales of woe. I caught on by myself. I didn't need anyone's stamp I was like, oh my God, it was very black and white to me, this behavior. I just was in a web and couldn't get out. But I saw it very clearly that it was bad behavior. And you know, they can't know even if you do share because they didn't go through it. So even if you do pick a friend, pick a family member, and you tell them everything, they can't know how bad it was because they're not the person that went through it. All I could muster with my friends, family, parents, I just keep saying he wasn't who he said he was. Period. He wasn't who he said he was. Nobody's going to pound you for details. They understand that if you're not forthcoming, maybe you don't want to, you know what I mean? That's sufficient. He wasn't who he said he was, period. But again, if he showed up, he's still going to be the fun guy. Have a drink. They'll laugh with him. They would have a good time with him. He's never going to be around again. But they don't know the sinister side. They weren't victim. You probably know narcissists in your life that you're friends with. You might not even have recognized their pattern in life as being a narcissist romantically with people. It might be one of your best friends. You love their company. You're not romantically entangled with them. You're not romantically entangled with them. I have one friend who's a narcissist. I don't use that word. I've been friends with this person for decades. I can see it a mile away now that I learned what it is. I can see it. I can see it. The ego needing to be fed. I can see it a mile away. Love him to death. I love him to death. I'm not his victim. Right? So you can love them. They could be your friends. They could be in your family. Very seldom, another reason that they get away with this behavior, like in the example I just mentioned, I'm not going to call out my friend and say, don't you feel bad for what you're doing to... It's not my business. I have had, in decades, conversations on why do you do blah, blah, blah. But I'm not going to harp on it. I'm not going to change someone. I'm not going to change someone. You're not going to change another adult in the way that they behave. Especially if they're a narcissist, we already know that. That's etched in stone. That's their behavior. So what? I'm going to not be friends with somebody? It's a good friend to me, this person. Very good friend. And you know, when being that that's the case, that very seldom will a narcissist encounter someone who calls them outright out on their behavior, besides maybe you, this is on purpose. On their part, on purpose. They surround themselves with yes men, yes women, yes people. They do that on purpose. They don't keep company with someone who's going to be combative with them, with someone who's going to ask a lot of questions, with someone who's going to pose any theories, try to help them change, try to help them see the light. So they shun those people. So not only are there very seldom people that are calling them out on their behavior, they're going to orchestrate their roster of people such that they have people around them that love them. And they're not going to really spend time with or want to be around someone who keeps trying to tell them how they should be. They're entitled to behave any way that they want. Don't you know that? How dare you tell me how to be? That would be a disaster. It's a disaster when we try to tell them because we're the victim they're trying to hurt. But even other people. One of the people that they surround themselves with as a yes person may even and is likely to become their next target. They rope them in under the guise of, poor me, thank you for understanding. I wish she could have been this understanding with me. You seem to really get me. I wish she could have been with me the way you're being with me right now. Boom. Pavers are set for an entanglement should the narcissist so choose with that new supply now. He's paving the way. And he gets away with it again. He gets away with it again. And he'll get away with it again. And I find it fascinating, too, how they weave their way through life doing it again and again and again. But I noticed that a lot of times their locations are changing, their partners are changing, their jobs are changing, their friends are changing. When there's a shift in a lot of different factors in your life, how can anyone catch on to a pattern in your life? The next time you see this friend might be 2 years. Oh, how's it going? Are you still with... No, we broke up. That's what they're going to get. That sounds normal. They don't know what you did to that person. And again, would they say anything? They're your friend. It's not up to... Pardon me. I have some kind of hiccup thing going on. It's not up to them to diagnose and help you. And now, if somebody's being a cad, I've seen friends tease their friends for being cads in the world. Like, man, when are you going to grow up? You got a good person there. Or when are you going to stop acting like, a teenager? Or when are you going to get it together and settle down? Or when I've seen people challenge people in that way. But that's nothing as intense as it would make the narcissist to stop behaving the way that they do. They just keep getting away with it. And they'll slough it off if somebody did approach them with something like that. They would probably make a joke. What, are you jealous? You just wish you were me. You want to be a 50-year-old bachelor. You want to be divorced like me. You wish you were me. They'll slough it off somehow. But it's not going to affect their behavior and make them change. How do they keep getting away with the behavior? They want to. And they figure out manipulative ways to move through life this way. And they don't let one group of people get to know the other group of people. They don't let a new partner get to know anyone associated with the old partner, lest they hear undesirable things about them. They're not going to let their new supply hear anything undesirable about them. They want their new supply thinking they're God. So say, for example, there's a gathering coming, they might even miss it if they think the new supply is going to meet someone that has negative things to say about them. They'll avoid it. That's how they keep getting away with it. And they'll just make up an excuse. Oh, I can't make the holiday that week. We're going to go to somewhere else. He's trying to keep his new supply away until he can figure out the next move in life where he lands himself far enough away from these people that do know the truth of his last relationship that the new supply will never have enough time in their company to learn about it. This is all calculated too, so that they can keep getting away with it and they can keep this behavior going. It is all one big ride of manipulation from the beginning to the next person to the next person. So I just want you to know it is frustrating. How do they keep getting away with it? Because they're duplicitous, and that's their goal. It's sinister. That's who they are. Yeah.